Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is September the 22nd, 2019. Strong hand. Be a unique piece. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Offended by selling. Hello, my elite friends. Check out Friday's This Week in Bitcoin show, disruptmeister.com. Jeff Vandrew was on. Guy Swan, he was in the house. Who was the third guy that was in the house? I don't even remember. He was so freaking awesome that Christian was in the house, of course. And thank you, OPSEC Classified, for the $1 donation. I think it was a great donation, whatever it was. Thanks for the support, dude. I know you're a fan. But yeah, you can watch the Beyond Bitcoin show was yesterday, Saturday, all at disruptmeister.com. Follow me on Twitter, TECHBALT, TechBalt. Okay, let's start up on a positive note there. Oh, I forgot to say 5-digit realm. Pound that like button. Okay, 10-year and 5-digit realm. I'm saying this because of this Alistair Milne tweet that should put a big smile on your faces. 10 years from now, son says, Dad, do you remember when Bitcoin broke above $10,000? And the father says, which of the 89 times do you mean? Yeah, it's funny because I remember, God, 2017 when we first got over $10,000, people were having $10,000 celebrations on the YouTube on their channels. I think Thomas had one on the World Crypto Network, and now it's like it's broken 10,000 so many different times. It keeps going 4-digit, 5-digit realm and everything. So yeah. It'll keep doing it, people. One day it'll be totally 5-digit realm. We're getting used to it now. The thing that Alistair is actually pointing out before, we've been above $9,000 for all you fiat freaks out there for what, like 90 days or something like that. Everyone loses perspective. There's so many weekends. Oh, we can't maintain 5 digits. But like, I mean, imagine the beginning of this year. I mean, when I was in Israel. Again, this is my second trip in Israel, and I'm about to go back to Baltimore. But my first trip in Israel was during the winter this year, and it was $3,000, and everyone thought it was the end of the world. And now it's been $9,000 for months, and people are panicked. I mean, just put it in perspective, people. I remember the 3-digit realm. Check out the archives, and you can see how things used to be and how it pays off big time to have a freaking strong hand and never sell that Bitcoin. You just collect those crypto dividends and you turn them into more Bitcoin. Yes, that's insider information. Most people don't know. Hey, you hold your Bitcoin properly on your Trezor, your ledger, your hardware wallet, whatever, and you get these forks and the airdrops. Those are the crypto dividends. You get interest on your Bitcoin. You don't have to lend your Bitcoin out. Oh, God forbid you lend your precious Bitcoin out to some Bitcoin bank and they might pay you or they might steal all your Bitcoin. You get the interest through the crypto dividend process. And of course, the Mimble coin one is the one we all signed up for recently, and that's coming out on December 11th. But we'll talk about that later. Okay, so speaking about later, this week, we've got a fun event coming up on Tuesday, people. Are you guys ready for the U.S. House Financial Services Committee plans to question the Securities and Exchange Commission about cryptocurrencies and Facebook's Libra project, about cryptocurrencies and Facebook's Libra project next week, among a host of other topics. Okay, guys, that's Tuesday. So get ready for the fun and get ready for a volatile price. All the speculators saying, oh, let's sell a lot now to make all these weak hands sell more so we can get it at a cheap price and then flip it for more once the hearing ends. Ha ha ha. Where have we seen this before? No, we've seen it at every single hearing, but people just don't learn and they still have weak hands and they still worry about what the government has to say. Okay, this is where the big boys play. If you still get trapped that way, that's your business. Personal responsibility is new counterculture. I'm just telling you the way it is. It keeps happening over and over and over again. So another FUD to be aware of. I'm sure you guys heard the news that Google might have gotten into quantum computing, sort of. So that means the ambiguity behind the quantum stories emanating from Google, people are, whoa, they can hack Bitcoin now. They can do this with Bitcoin. Be ready, people, for the FUD. You know, we're always going to have the quantum FUD. There's no proof that anything remotely close to what is being speculated is even happening. So we shall see. We'll see what happens. I'm not worried about it, but it's in the news. You know how the news is. They've got to sensationalize everything, and soon you'll be saying, "Oh, Google." There'll be articles about Google can hack Bitcoin. Soon, maybe, sort of. And that's the body of the article. Will have all the qualifiers in there. Okay. We've got a tweet from Udi here, who I saw tonight at the Bitcoin embassy. And yeah, it's really late at night in Tel Aviv because it's even late at night back on the East Coast. But that's conviction for you. A new show here every single day, baby. All right. Except the second day of Rosh Hashanah, which is actually going to come up soon, and we'll explain that later. Although I might be able to get a show off. I might pre-tape a show to put, we'll worry about it when that comes up. That's Rosh Hashanah's coming up, though, in a week, baby. All right. So are you guys prepared? You got your apples and honey? Now, Udi, who no doubt will be having a great Rosh Hashanah next Sunday night, he says, and this is a lesson from Zcash. He reminds us of an article that said, can this man build a better Bitcoin? And it showed the Zcash dude. This was, like, I don't know, a couple years ago. And he says, Udi says, well, it turns out he couldn't even build a better Dash. So that's for all you people who believe that, and this will happen again when the newbies come flying back into cryptocurrency, that their coin is the next Bitcoin. Well, that was a straight up headline saying, Zcash is the better Bitcoin. They couldn't even build a better Dash, which Udi explains in his tweet. But Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. That's what that saying means of mine, okay? There have been straight up articles like the one Udi retweets or the picture of the article. Can this man build a better Bitcoin? And everyone gets excited. Ooh, Zcash genius will be able to build a better. And then we look at it a few years later, they couldn't even build a better Dash. Dash is better than Zcash, apparently. All right, you can get an argument, you altcoiners. Which one's better? I know where I've been the entire time. That is with Bitcoin. Pound that like button. Follow me on Steemit at Bitcoin Meister. I haven't said that for a while. Okay, let's talk about diversification for the sake of diversification. A company that just specializes in diversification for the sake of diversification. Can anyone guess the name of the company that in the cryptocurrency space that specializes in that? That really likes that kind of thing now? That is banking on so many newbies coming into the space and just creating a portfolio on their site. So it's Coinbase, of course. And here is and they can do this. I have no problem with Coinbase. I mean, they're an independent business. Everybody freaks out when Coinbase adds or suggests they're going to add another altcoin. This is where the big boys play. If people don't realize the kind of nonsense that Coinbase is listing on there, and they want to diversify for the sake of diversity, they haven't gotten it yet, that these are just pump tools for VCs. Some of them are VC coins. Here, Coinbase, this is a tweet from Lawmaster. He says, Coinbase is exploring listing all of these assets, and it lists a bunch of whack coins, okay? We're talking like third tier and fourth tier type coins. The vast majority of them are VC chains that will very likely crash in value immediately after being listed. Some VCs already wrote off these investments. Coinbase is basically considering facilitating a retail dump. Yes, they are. Yes, they're allowing these people to dump on retail. So that's what Coinbase does. That's a business model. Will that be successful in the long run? I'm not a Coinbase investor. I don't give a darn. So everyone gets worked up about it. I wouldn't get too worked out about it. You just tell newbies, don't diversify for the sake of diversification. Just get Bitcoin. That's the bottom line here. If you don't say just get Bitcoin, then people are like, well, I'll get other things, and it just leads them down the rabbit hole. And Coinbase is a very easy place where you can get everything, or not everything, but you get the point here. So yeah, I don't just if you want to get Bitcoin, get it at Coinbase, sure, but don't diversify for the sake of diversification. They make it real easy, but that's their business model. Let's see if it succeeds. All right, that's their business. I mean, I wouldn't mind if it succeeded. I mean, so what if 80%ers, they're going to do what they're going to do. It's not hurting me. It actually might help me because Coinbase might be able to go public one day, and that would be good for the space. Or Coinbase might sell itself to a larger corporation, and that'll be good news for the space. So if 80%ers want to fund Coinbase's success, great, do it. It's your business. I mean, get your fourth tier altcoin. John Matonis, this is an old article of his I've got listed below, linked to below. And there's a couple of reasons I have it listed. One is that this is from 2013, and he was going against Carl Denninger, who was saying basically Bitcoin was going to zero. And John Matonis was right. Carl Denninger was very wrong in this old school article. But I'm also mentioning it because, and I'm just making sure I'm looking at some other things here. Hang on. Because I rephrase what Matonis says here about modern monetary theory related stuff. And it's it's my basis for why 80% money, MMT can work. And Bitcoin can work. And when we say can work, we're already living in it. And I talked about this on Saturday's show. The way the United States dollar is printed since 1971, it is already modern monetary theory. They just keep printing it, and the 80%ers keep buying it. And inflation sometimes doesn't show up. It shows up in certain corners of especially in like 80%er land. I mean, a wedding costs a lot more than it used to. I mean, does that really bother me? No. Or a spectacular wedding costs a lot more than it used to. Everyone buys spectacular weddings now. I mean, the printing of the United States dollar constantly. Some people, you can point to places where it's inflated certain parts of the economy, but they're not like necessary parts of the economy at all. And 80%ers are going to do what they're going to do. But I move back to the main premise here, and let me paraphrase here. All money is a universal mass illusion. A market-based illusion can be just as valid or more valid than a state-controlled illusion. Monetary illusions themselves are a competitive marketplace. It is false that only the state is in a special position to confer legitimacy in monetary matters. Okay, so a lot of people out there, including Carl Denninger, said that the non-state money is illegitimate, that only states can make money, that only nation states can print money. And that's not true. I agree with John Matonis that anyone can print their own money. Bitcoin is its own money, and it's a marketplace. It's let the people pick. And money is a universal mass illusion. I believe that also. And that the dollar wins the 80%er marketplace, and Bitcoin wins the 20%er marketplace. And they win for completely different reasons, of course. I mean, the dollar is it represents the strength of the United States, the culture of the United States, the ease of the dollar, the power of the United States, that people are stuck in it, basically. The Bitcoin, it actually does something. It gets you around the USA/state rules and regulations. But hey, both can exist. I have no problem with the United States printing the dollar at just wildly, and I don't think it really doesn't hurt me. Everyone has to understand there's a separation of spending and saving. don't save in the US dollar. That's not what it's for. It's for spending. The government has made this very clear that currency, it's for Bitcoin, it's for savings. It's a real asset. Okay. So yeah, modern monetary theory works in this time of tech and abundance. You don't have to be part of it. MMT is for the target/government job working masses. Bitcoin is for the elite. The government has no balance. It creates money when it spends. And that's what MMT says. As taxes are deleted, never spent, so our federal taxes fund nothing. This is, okay, so that's MMT. You can believe it, you can care about it, you can ignore it. I say they've been pulling it off since 1971. There definitely has, it's definitely been an MMT type of system. I have explored it quite a bit lately, and I think Bitcoiners should say, yeah, if they want to promote MMT with the United States dollar, just keep, why not? Bitcoin and MMT and the US dollar can get along just fine. Doesn't hurt Bitcoin at all. People, how about if there's hyperinflation? No, people aren't going to lose faith in the dollar. And if they did, then it'd be great for Bitcoin anyway. So I linked to some MMT stuff below too, if you really care about that. Watch Saturday's show. I talked a bit more about it. But the reality is that MMT just describes this system that most countries in the world live under and have lived under since 1971. So don't freak out too much about MMT, modern monetary theory. It's just what is. Now, the one thing that we're hearing MMT a lot about is these the Green New Deal type of stuff. They're like, well, we just print the money and pay for it. Okay, just print the money and pay for aspects of it. But then they say, if inflation starts, then we have to start taxing everyone. Now that part, I'm not down with that part of it. If inflation starts, then stop printing the freaking money, all right? Because there are a lot of people that are saying that so far we've been printing the money and there really hasn't been inflation. I say there has been inflation in non-necessities. Do you need a mega mansion or a McMansion? Do you really need a McMansion? You see, just in the United States, we have such a high level of a high standard of living that people think they need a lot of things now, but they don't really need these. You don't need to go out to eat all the time. And these are the things where the prices have gone up in some of it can't be denied. But with the government statistics for inflation, it doesn't look like there's exactly been inflation. If you play your cards right, if you're a 20%er, you can still buy things that you need, and it's not costing you a lot more money, okay, just because the United States is printing a bunch of dollars. The system is working really well. People are getting richer. Businesses are starting with the money printing that's been going on. So we're going to have to get used to the fact that by 2024, there's going to be a lot of socialist stuff flying around the United States of America. And they're going to say they're going to want to tax people, and that is stealing. Taxation is definitely theft. Now, some of you are saying, well, printing money is theft also. Well, you have to understand what the US dollar is. It is not a savings mechanism. You shouldn't be saving in it anyway. It's been clear since 1971. So I think that printing money for certain projects, government projects, yeah, it's going to cause distortions. It's going to cause distortions. It isn't right, but it's basically picking winners. It isn't picking losers, though. When you set up new taxes, that is picking losers, and that's I'm not down with that. But again, I mean, you can just look at all this from an outsider perspective if you value your wealth in Bitcoin. You don't have to get emotional and crazed about the dollar being printed to fund healthcare, or to fund reparations, or to fund the Green New Deal, because you're not I mean, you might get some of those dollars, and what you should do is you don't spend it on a massive wedding or a massive house or going out to eat no, you get Bitcoin. but most people are going to spend it way back, and they're going to spend it back into the economy and build up these 80%er industries. All right, let them do that. Okay, moving. So that's my take on MMT for now. It was Saturday's show. I talked more about it. I just let them print the dollar. Let them print the dollar. Let's see how the experiment keeps on going. I really think people believe in it so darn much. They are stuck in it, and it won't be inflated very, very much. It won't hurt you and I, because we don't value our wealth in dollars. We have real assets. I mean, this is the world of 20%ers and 80%ers. They should know better not to worship the dollar, not to just keep spending. There's a separation of spending and saving. Dollar is about the spending. Bitcoin is about the saving. You choose your path. All right, doublespend.cash and pound that like button, is a site that shows the double spend attempts on Bcash. And I found out about this site because there's been a successful double spend attempt on Bcash. Vortex retweeted this. I've got it linked to below. And someone replied, well, at least we learned double spends are not the immediate end of the currency, which we feared. Okay, that's a good point. There is a small silver lining there, maybe, the person says. I think the other silver lining here is that Bcash is not Bitcoin. They can have freak things like double spends happen. It doesn't happen on Bitcoin, okay? So there's a takeaway from that. I haven't heard anything else about this double spend thing. Maybe people just don't care about Bcash at all. Maybe there's just not that many users of Bcash. That's clearly true. I mean, if something comparable to this happened on Ethereum, you would hear a lot about it, because there are a lot of Ethereum users, and people are really, I think Bitcoiners kind of blow, certain Bitcoiners blow Ethereum out of proportion. You know, let them do what they're going to do over there. Some people feel threatened by Ethereum. There's no doubt about it. They shouldn't. Clearly they do not feel threatened by Bcash, because this story isn't going anywhere. But there is a site dedicated to checking these things out, doublespend.cash. Check it out, link to below. And that's it. I think that is the end of the show late at night here. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, check out the links below, pound that like button, bang that bell button, click on those squares that you see. And hey, yeah, this was a Tel Aviv blockchain week shirt that people like this shirt a lot. There's the B. I will see you guys later. Bye.